Hi, eBay sellers. I'm so happy that you've chosen to join me today to learn about seller standards and protections. Thank you for being available to attend this workshop, and I hope that you will find the information valuable to you. A little background on myself and what I do at eBay. My name is Tracee Nielson, and I've been with eBay for over 21 years. I've worked in many different roles and lines of business in my eBay career. But for the last 8 years, my role has been to help sellers grow their business through the various tools we have available on the site, which hopefully you've already been learning about in different workshops at this year's eBay Open. I'm currently the strategist for the Growth Advisor team, and my team has a motto that is help before growth. So today we'll be talking about the health aspect of your account. Before we jump into the content, I want you to know that we have experts here and ready to answer your questions. So if you have a question during the session, use the session Q&A function located on the right-hand side. So we're going to be covering a few key items today. First, we'll go over what seller performance standards are, including service metrics for returns. Then we'll explain the metrics that are used to evaluate seller performance. And lastly, we'll cover the numerous end-to-end protections that are available. The objective for today is simple. We want you to become more familiar with our seller performance metrics and discover new ways to improve or maintain your seller performance. That way you have a strong foundation to grow your business and keep your customers happy. You should keep trust, value, and relevance in all aspects of your eBay activity. Today's discussion also focuses on the trust factor of the 3 pillars of success. And keep in mind, it is a combination of trust, value, and relevance, all working in combination to ensure your items are shown as frequently as possible and purchased when they're seen. eBay is committed to creating a safe platform where buyers and sellers can transact with confidence. When you're meeting your commitment to help us create and maintain a safe marketplace by following the policies we've established, trust is built. So e-commerce is all about trust. Shoppers need to feel confident they're getting the right item for the right price and will receive great service along the way. Building and maintaining that confidence among our buyers is one of eBay's top priorities. It creates a positive experience for them and a great opportunity for your business. But this is only possible by working together with our sellers and helping them maintain the highest performance standards possible, which will help you build trust with your buyers and momentum for your business. When assessing seller performance, we look at 4 specific standards. The first is transaction defect rate. This factors in cancellations for being out of stock or damaged, as well as cases closed without seller resolution. Next is also cases closed without seller resolution. This relates to cases involving returns or items not received claims that the seller does not resolve and have therefore required eBay to step in and help. Cases closed without seller resolution is its own seller metric and is also factored into your transaction defect rate. This is due to the weight of the negative impact it has on customers and their perception of eBay as a trusted marketplace. The third metric that we look at is the late shipment rate. Any orders that are not shipped out within your stated handling time or delivered by your estimated delivery date are considered late shipments. And finally, tracking uploaded on time and validated. This pertains to any orders where tracking was never uploaded, was uploaded late, or did not have a valid carrier scan. Using these standards, sellers are assigned one of 3 ratings: top rated, above standard, or below standard. Top rated sellers are exceeding eBay's requirements and are going above and beyond to create exceptional experiences that our customers love. As a top rated seller, you will receive top rated seller recognition on your feedback profile and will also have the ability to earn top rated plus benefits. Top rated plus benefits also include a 10% discount on your final value fees and a top rated plus badge on all listings that qualify. On the US site, that means your listings offer a 1-day or less handle time and a 30-day free return policy. Above standard sellers are meeting our minimum standard and are making sure buyers' expectations are met, but there's still some potential to improve performance to reach a top rated level. Below standard sellers are not meeting one or more of the minimum requirements and need to take action to improve their service for their buyers. So why do these ratings matter? Let's compare the top-rated experience to the below standard experience. Top-rated sellers enjoy shipping discounts, improved search ranking, and eligible for premium service badges applied to qualifying listings, which can entice more buyers. On the other end, below standard sellers can experience restrictions to selling limits, selling fee surcharges, search ranking demotions, which means your listings will be suppressed in search and harder to find, and even possible account restrictions, which can be indefinite. And keep in mind, these are rarely overturned. It's important to note that the consequences for below standard sellers are not meant to be punitive, but rather to maintain a trusted, positive shopping experience for our buyers, which in turn helps our sellers who are working hard to provide good, reliable service and to build their business with us. Now that you understand what our seller performance standards are, let's discuss the metrics we use to evaluate sellers against these standards, the timing of this evaluation, and how you can track your rating in real time. First, let's talk about the timing of these evaluations. We evaluate your performance level on the 20th of each month. Your evaluation period is determined by the number of sales transactions you have had in the previous 3 months. So depending on this number, you will be defined for that particular evaluation as either a low or a high volume seller. So low volume sellers are defined as having less than 400 transactions in the past 3 months, and they're subject to a 12-month evaluation look back. High volume sellers are defined as having greater than 400 transactions in the past 3 months and are subject to a 3-month look back. The metrics that are used to evaluate your performance is important information to know because it will help you manage your eBay business operations in a way that can help you achieve and maintain top-rated status. This table provides a clear picture of each metric and what we're looking for in evaluating your performance. Your account will fall below standard if your overall defect rate exceeds 2%, or if your cases closed without seller resolution exceeds 0.3%. You can see now how heavy cases closed without seller resolution is weighted, and the importance of resolving all of your returns and items not received cases promptly to avoid having your customers escalate to eBay. You can see that your late shipment rate and overall tracking upload with validation metrics will not cause your account to fall below standard, as these metrics are only used to achieve the top-rated status. For the late shipment metric, if we can see that tracking is not being scanned and validated within your handling time, or the item arrived after the estimated delivery date, it would result in late shipment. However, if you ship on time and upload valid tracking, or if your buyers tell us the shipment was on time when they leave feedback, you're all set and would not have a late shipment recorded. In order to meet the tracking upload requirement for the US site, a tracking number needs to be uploaded to the transaction. The tracking number needs to be uploaded to the transaction within your stated handling time, and the tracking number needs to be validated by an approved shipping carrier such as USPS, Canada Post, FedEx, UPS, or DHL, to name just a few. From there, we average out the percentage of all transactions that meet these 3 criteria. As long as your percentage exceeds 95%, you would be meeting the requirement for top-rated seller status. It is still possible to earn top-rated if you are a day or 2 late on a transaction infrequently, but I would recommend updating your handling time if you're not able to meet the 1-day handling time consistently. To achieve top-rated seller status, you have all 4 metrics to work within. The Seller Hub is a free, powerful tool that eBay sellers can use to analyze and accelerate their business. We're going to focus on the performance section within the Seller Hub, which displays a dashboard view of your selling activity, including your seller rating. There are multiple ways to get to your dashboard within the Seller Hub and view your current rating. Here are 2 of the most common ways. From the Seller Hub view, hover your cursor over performance and select seller level. This will take you immediately to your seller dashboard. You can also get there from the overview page by clicking on the status under the seller level forecast. Your seller dashboard will shine light on your post-transaction performance and will call out what adjustments you need to make to your business. I would make it a habit to check your dashboard weekly or more to keep up with how you are doing. When you're reviewing your dashboard, you will see your past level, your current seller level, as of the last evaluation, and what your status would be if we evaluated you today. Each of these sections provides an in-depth breakdown of each seller performance metric that you're being evaluated on. When you click on a specific metric, it will provide further details about the area you clicked on. As you can see from the right image on your screen, we're looking at your track uploaded on time and validated. You can also click on the Get Full Report, and that will provide you with a list of all transactions that are counting negatively against you, or if it has been removed. Having this information readily available to you can help you identify if there are trends that need to be worked on and ironed out. If you have a lot of transactions or you're not sure why defects are counting towards you, downloading an Excel file will give you more details about your performance and make it easier to sort through the data. You can access this report by clicking the Download button. Here's what the Excel file will look like. As you can see from the top of the report, it is pulling all transactions where tracking was uploaded late, not at all, or does not have a valid carrier scan for your upcoming evaluation on July 20th. It will include the transaction date and the date the payment actually cleared, since you're not expected to ship the item out unless payment was successful. We also have the stated handle time that was in your listing when the buyer purchased your item. The handle by date, which is when we expect you to upload the tracking to eBay and to ship out your item, and when tracking was actually added by you and scanned. Within these three columns, which are not uploaded at all, uploaded late, and uploaded but no carrier scan, we will mark yes based on which area you missed. We also include details like the item number, buyer ID, transaction ID, category, and even the title. With that in mind, I would encourage you to dive into transactions to understand what you need to do to improve your performance. In this specific report, we see the biggest opportunity for the seller is uploading the tracking late. If this seller utilized eBay shipping labels, the tracking number would automatically be uploaded for them, resolving this concern. Now that you understand what our performance standards are and how they are evaluated, let's explore some ways that eBay protects you and ways that you can protect yourself as well as other sellers. At eBay, we believe that all people are basically good, and we always assume that everyone has the best intentions when they transact and communicate on the platform. We also understand that there are individuals that may attempt to take advantage of you on the platform we offer and other selling partners. eBay has dedicated teams that actively monitor the platform and take action to remove buyers that misuse and abuse feedback, return processes, or any of the buyer protections we have in place. We also understand that life happens and some things are just out of your control. For something as simple as an item arriving late but carrier scans showing it shipped on time, we'll adjust your late shipment rate and cover you for any negative or neutral feedback left in relation to shipping or delivery. We keep an eye out for major disruptions due to weather and proactively address performance metrics related to issues outside of your control, so you can focus elsewhere without having to let us know. Keep an eye on the announcement section in the Seller Hub, the community boards, and your eBay messages for information on important updates and extensions on protections. So let's talk about some other scenarios to be aware of and how to notify eBay if they take place. eBay is a massive marketplace with over 185 million active buyers, and we process over 2 billion transactions every single day. Given the sheer magnitude of the platform, you may on occasion run into a buyer you feel has ill intentions or is misrepresenting what may have taken place with the purchase. We have quite a few advanced methods and algorithms designed to identify what we consider bad buying behaviors so we can take action and prevent them becoming commonplace. But you're honestly one of the best resources we have when it comes to identifying what our automated systems can't. If you run across any of the scenarios we're about to discuss, please take a moment to let us know by locating the transaction and reporting the buyer from the orders page in Seller Hub via the link you see here. If you encounter a buyer that's demanding something that wasn't included in the original listing, please take a moment to report them to us. This can include requesting a shipping service not offered, or a different payment method outside of what's indicated, or even requesting a partial refund or discount after purchasing, or even asking for free items. And if any buyer asks you to take a transaction off of eBay to save on fees, please report them. And by the way, once you take a transaction off of eBay, you lose all protections we offer sellers. Please report buyers if you believe they're making false claims about the item or its condition upon receiving it, or claims of non-receipt when tracking confirms delivery. Don't assume that the buyer is attempting to mislead you if the tracking shows the item was delivered or they claim that the item was damaged or arrived in a condition other than it was sent. Sometimes the post office misdelivers packages to neighboring houses, or a family member grabs and misplaces the item without the recipient knowing. If tracking confirms delivered as addressed, eBay has your back and won't force any type of resolution. If that situation comes up, try and be as helpful as possible. Provide tracking details and try to be as communicative as possible, but understand that we have you covered based on the objective tracking information that confirms delivery. Let us know if buyers return an item different than the one they purchased from you, the same item you initially sent but used, or missing parts, or even an empty box. There are several possible outcomes if you receive something other than what was originally sent. And honestly, there's too many one-off scenarios to individually discuss here. The big takeaway here is to let us know as soon as possible so we can review, investigate, and take actions to protect you and the rest of the eBay community. I don't want to scare you. This doesn't happen as often as you may think, and we take actions like this very, very seriously. We're able to take action based on data we have, and most importantly, your reports. So again, please keep us in the loop if anything like this happens. And also let us know if buyers retract bids on auctions without correcting their bid, or message you anything that isn't related to purchase the item, like spam or threats. Now, threats are very, very uncommon, by the way, but I wanted to make sure to call them out here. We have teams actively monitoring the reports our sellers send, and will absolutely take action if we find consistent behaviors that can damage the viability and safety of our marketplace. So please take a moment to report buyers that abuse any of the programs or processes we just covered. Earlier, we talked about what eBay considers a defect and how they're the main factors that can drive your account to below standard status. And again, below standard status can lead to deprecated search results, additional selling fees, and potential restrictions. So just a refresher, defects happen when a case is closed without seller resolution. This could be a situation where a buyer runs into an issue with the item they purchased from you, or an item not being delivered without tracking to validate, or receiving a damaged item or an item that didn't match the listing's description. Now remember, you have 3 days to come to an arrangement, and if after those 3 days, either you or the buyer ask eBay to step in, once we step in, we'll review the request. And if we offer a solution that you could have provided, like facilitating a return for a refund, or refunding an item where tracking doesn't confirm delivery, a defect for a case without closed seller resolution is assessed. Defects are also assessed if you cancel a transaction by indicating that the item isn't in stock, meaning you're unable to fulfill the order for the item your buyer purchased. Cancellations create awful experiences for buyers. They're excited to get an item, and next thing they know, it's been canceled. Now they have to wait for the funds and look elsewhere for the item they were already excited to get from you. One other caveat where defects can be assessed is if you fail to process a refund within 48 hours of the item being returned to you, with tracking, of course. Most refunds are automatically processed, so this won't be an issue, but it is something to keep an eye out for. Keep in mind, it's always better to proactively process the refund rather than ignoring it, which could then lead to a defect. Here's where eBay comes in. We protect you from defects and negative feedback by preventing or automatically removing them when certain situations come up. We remove defects if your buyer fails to pay for an item where immediate payment isn't required and a cancellation has been filed with the reason buyer never paid. If an eBay money-back guarantee is escalated for review, meaning you or the buyer asked us to step in and that request is closed in your favor, we'll remove or prevent defects. We'll automatically remove the defect if it's a direct result of a technical issue caused by eBay. If we act and remove a buyer's money-back protections or remove them from the platform based on behaviors or member reports, we'll remove or protect from defects. On occasion, eBay may instruct you to hold a shipment or cancel a transaction. In that case, we have you covered. Or if we can determine through valid tracking that the defect was the direct result of delays in shipping outside of your control, we'll clean those up as well. As long as you're setting achievable expectations and focusing on creating great customer experiences, it's only a matter of time until you reach top-rated seller status. Once you've achieved that rating, you'll earn additional layers of protection, which include return label reimbursement. Remember, if a buyer returns an item based on something that you're at fault for, you're responsible for return shipping costs. As a trusted, top-rated seller, we'll reimburse you up to $6 per return if a buyer falsely claims seller fault. Just report the buyer using the steps we covered earlier, and the reimbursement credit will appear on your next monthly invoice. And once you're a top-rated seller, we'll offer you access to what we call the partial refund tool. All you need to do is offer 30-day free returns and not have any service metric areas rated as very high. And we'll touch on service metrics right after this. So let's say you've inspected a returned item and determined it's damaged or used. When you're processing the refund, just let us know and we'll cover 50% of the original price of the item rather than having you absorb the entire loss. Remember, we don't ever physically handle merchandise, so it's difficult to substantiate what you was sent out or returned to you. As a trusted top-rated seller, we offer this benefit so you can focus on growing your business and not the one-off hiccups. It's a pretty awesome feature to say the least. And remember, you can always check on your seller performance rating under the performance link in Seller Hub. So bottom line, eBay only succeeds when our sellers succeed. So it's in our best interest to enable you to thrive and grow. We've got your back as a trusted selling partner in this. And I hope the protections we covered help you understand that. So this is a snapshot of the service metrics dashboard that I mentioned on the previous page. It is accessible by clicking the service metrics link, which is under the performance tab in the Seller Hub in the same drop down that you use to go to your seller dashboard. This is where we measure the average rate of seller fault related return requests and item not received cases you're driving compared to your selling peers over either a 3 or 12-month period of time. These measurements help you monitor the service you're providing compared to other sellers that operate similar business models, and by making small changes, you can help meet or beat customer expectations. These measurements won't affect your seller performance rating, but can lead to negative consequences, including increased selling fees for any items sold in a category where you're rated very high compared to your peers if not addressed. When we determine the peer group to compare you against, we make sure we're identifying sellers that closely resemble your business model and behaviors as best as possible. We do this by looking at other sellers that sell on the same listing site, meaning ebay.com or ebay.ca or any other international site, sell in the same category as you, sell similarly priced items in the same condition as you, new, used, etc., sellers that have similar return policies and delivery time estimates. And if we can't get an accurate measurement based on the variables I just covered, we won't compare you to a peer group. Towards the bottom of this page, there's a link where you're able to download a report containing details that help identify problem categories, types of products, or specific items causing the issues. If these same items are driving returns, you may want to consider removing it from your inventory or making changes to the listings to avoid future issues. If you're using a specific carrier and driving a very high rate of item not received cases compared to your peers, you may want to look at alternative carriers. Either way, use this information to better refine listings or shipping processes to make sure you're providing excellent service. Now let's talk about how we make you aware of listing policy infractions and a few other things to be mindful and wrap things up. So as I mentioned earlier, eBay is your selling partner in this, and we understand mistakes can happen. We want you to focus on the big picture and not get hung up on little things. Now, in most cases, if you mistakenly violate one of our listing policies, we'll clearly communicate what went wrong and any steps you'd need to take to fix the listing to ensure it's compliant if it's an option to do so. Once everything is fixed, you can relist the item and go about your day. And if you accidentally violate an account-related policy, or if we need more information about your business, we'll temporarily hide your listings while you provide the information or correct the issue. Once the corrections are made or the info we're looking for is provided, your listings will be visible again. These violations won't happen too frequently, but if they do, we'll work as best as possible with you to keep things moving as they should. We do, however, take counterfeits very seriously. As trusted selling partners, we depend on you to exercise due diligence when it comes to listing and selling authentic items. If we identify questionable items, remove them, or take any action otherwise, we'll notify you and provide details as to why we took the action. If eBay ever notifies you about counterfeit concerns on the item you've listed, it's critical that you either address the concerns laid out in the email or discontinue selling those items unless you're notified otherwise. If we identify consistent counterfeit listing behaviors, we may take action to end listings or cancel existing sales. We could hide or demote your items in search results. Your hard-earned seller rating could be lowered. You may even lose your seller protections, and your account could be temporarily restricted or permanently suspended. Bottom line, if you're not 100% sure of the authenticity, do not list it. And if we make you aware of concerns and remove the listing, absolutely at all costs avoid listing that item again to avoid the consequences we just discussed. Again, eBay is a flexible platform and we want to make you aware and let you fix issues rather than causing a halt to your business. Now let's review the top takeaways. It truly takes a village to build and maintain a safe and trusted marketplace. As sellers, doing your part in achieving this will be vital to your success on the platform. One of the ways you can do this is by reporting buyers that violate policies and practices by taking the steps we reviewed earlier. Don't list any items where you're not 100% sure of their authenticity. Pay attention to policy violation notifications and take actions and correct the issue if possible. We're flexible on the little hiccups, but we keep an eye out for consistent trends. Try to avoid making the same mistake twice, because that's when it really starts to become an issue. Keep an eye on your service metrics. Again, these are apple-to-apple comparisons to peers selling similar items and similar business models. Aim to become a trusted, top-rated seller. It really isn't that hard as long as you're focused on providing great service to your buyers. Once you're top rated, you'll be able to take advantage of additional seller protection benefits like return label reimbursement and partial refund coverage. And I've said this a few times and I really, really mean it. We're partners in this. And eBay has your back when it comes to creating and managing a safe marketplace that thrives. We're looking out for you by taking active measures that allow you to focus your energy where it belongs, and that's on growing your eBay business and succeeding. And in return, we're looking for you to maintain your end of the partnership by delivering quality products and great service to our buyers. And that's it. We truly appreciate all of you who took the time out of your jam-packed event to attend our Seller Performance Standards and Protection Workshop today. We hope that you found today's information helpful and that you feel more comfortable with how to check your status, when and how to report any issues with one of your buyers, and the protections that are in place for you. I'll say it again, we're partners in this adventure. Without each of you, eBay wouldn't be possible. So again, thank you for being such a valued member of our community, and I hope you enjoy the rest of eBay Open 2021. Thank you.